So welcome to episode 72 of the Jazz and Friends podcast. Today's special guest is Riley, who runs for Essendon. Good mates from Mac as well, and fresh off running states. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
That's good. Topics we'll be covering will be mainly running, a bit of school stuff, and some banter along the way. So without further ado, we'll get started. I guess let's begin with your running journey, participating in Little Fs. So similar to Auskick, talk us through that, like how that's transpired and helped your running journey.
So I started running probably Little Ass when I was about, I think it was under eight. So I joined up at Essendon Little Ass, and it was a pretty big cohort for us. And I joined up with my brothers and stuff and a few mates, and I would run in the mornings with my dad, training for school cross country and school athletics. And that's kind of how it started for me. And I remember one specific time where ran my first sub 3 minutes in probably under 10s for the 800, and that's the first time my 800 journey started.
That is very impressive, mate. Sub three at like age 9 or 10. I don't think I was at that level yet, but anyway, and since then, mate, you've done some incredible things at Mac. Like I remember a few years ago, you medaled at regionals and states before COVID. And I guess yeah, talk us through that experience. What was that like?
So that was a very that year I was my favorite race was definitely the 800, and going into regions they only took the top one or top two for 800. They only took top one for 800, and there was a fast competitor in our region. And I had decided to do two races on the day because I was young, felt good about it, and I I came second in the eight, which was a bit disappointing, but it was kind of expected. And then the 1500 was a hard race, and I managed to just get up on one guy and came second, and then went through the state because it was top two, and the race was very slow because it was a windy day, and I just got into a good position and came into the home straight and put on a sprint finish to come third in state, which was probably one of the biggest achievements in my running career so far.
You haven't done too many 1500s, but I was saying like how in 2 weeks' time we're gonna go head to head in the
Yeah,
15. So
yeah, I think
yeah, it
I
was,
haven't run a 1500 for about 2 years now, but looking forward to racing Jez and trying to go through for a sub 430.
I reckon that's very doable with Riley in the field. I reckon he can drag me along, so it should be good. Boxer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, obviously, would have been a few weeks ago, last week, but you ran in the state champs. You made it to the final and ran consistent low twos. PB's 159. So, like, what does training look like for you? It's different to other
Uh,
middle distance runners.
yeah,
Yeah.
so uh, in year 11, I'm coming into a very busy schedule with cricket and work as well. I would normally get down to the track 3 times a week and a race on the weekend, but it's just 2 sessions a week normally. And if I'm not racing, I'll try and do three. One of those threshold and one speed, and then a few easy runs and normally a gym session per week in between. But it's just about being consistent, I guess, because if you miss it, you try and catch up and it just throws everything out of balance. So you just, even if it is busy, you just have to be consistent with it. And I think that's what has dragged me down a bit at the end of the season. I lost a bit of consistency with just going into isolation, and so that definitely didn't help. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help. And, you know, all of us are kind of fresh off like summer breaks and all that, and we run pretty well during like Feb kind of. And yeah, it's good to see you come back pretty strong as well. So no, it's good. And also you play cricket like you said, and I think a few years ago you made a century against the Gulls. I played for them for like the season, but
Yeah.
can you describe that day, mate? That's incredible.
So it started with it was a 2 day match at what's the oval called?
Walter Street.
Yeah, Walter
Yeah,
Street Reserve. and we went out to bat, and me and my mate were batting, and I think we both made, or we didn't even make, neither of us made 50 on the first day, but we were just out there for for the time, and then we came off and came back the next week, and then it just started and was hitting a few boundaries, and then my mate went out, and a few others went out, but I just stayed in, and it got to I knew I was in the 90s and there wasn't much time left. And while it seemed like I'd been batting for ages, in the end, I was going at a pretty consistent strike rate of about, I actually did it in less balls than 100. So even though I was in for 50 overs, I wasn't in for much of the strike. And it came to the last ball and I was on 98. And,
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure it was a four through the onside. And it was running, but I'd already ran two, and then it did go over the line, and I was like, all my teammates got around, and it was, yeah, it was a great feeling.
that's really well. I cannot describe that moment. I'm
Yeah,
sure you've been, chatting it up the past few years.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
everyone would bag me for it, saying, "Oh, it took you forever. You batted," but I've got the scorecard, and it says 102 in like 98 balls.
Exactly
So
right, yeah. I was the 100
don't
shot
listen
for
to
it.
them. Yeah.
That's amazing, mate. And just quickly on the school, like, where do you see yourself in the next few years with like all the STEM subjects you're doing?
Uh, so I'm not sure what I want to do exactly, but
Yeah,
I'll probably want to go to university and yeah, just continue the kind of subjects I'm doing because I do enjoy them and see where that takes me.
awesome, mate. So now we're moving on to like, some fun segments here. The first one's about music, so should we listen to a fair bit of different artists? So talk us through your music.
So yeah, um, I've been listening to a bit of music. Sometimes I listen to it before a race just to kind of get me in the zone. Um, just I've listened to quite a bit of rap. Probably favorite artist. My top artist of last year was Pop Smoke, even though yeah, have to respect Pop Smoke
Yeah,
after.
better respected. Yeah,
But yeah, just a bit of everything. I'm not too fussed about what I listen to, just whatever comes up on my Spotify at the moment, to be honest.
sure. Pass it before races. Yeah, it gets you going, doesn't it? Yeah,
Mm.
it's good, mate. And with funny stories, we always like have a laugh about these. But I think I wrote in the show notes old schools. I don't know if you remember a few years ago when old schools, and I don't know. I think there were a few funny stories there. But do you have any you want to share to listeners?
Oh yeah, the old schools was good. I remember going with Ryan and
Ilias,
Ilias, who
yeah,
aren't at this school anymore, and we went down to Albert Park on the tram with
Mr. Stewart.
Mr. Stewart.
Gotta get him on the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mr. Stewart, great teacher, left Mac. And yeah, it was a good day out. We weren't expecting to do too great, and we ended up coming. We did all right actually in the end for the 4x800 relays. Or also the other time, old schools, me, you, Jesse, and
Oh, so
Sol,
yeah,
and we did the
cross country at
cross
Princess
country
Park.
old schools at Princess Park. And after we'd finished, we they called us all over and said there was people who'd been running the wrong course, and
Oh yeah, that was chaos, man.
yeah, we thought we were going to get disqualified or have to rerun after like doing a fast 3K, and we were like shitting ourselves because we were going to have to run another 3K, and we didn't want to do that. So we signed Jez as our team captain and went to the
Oh,
team meeting, and yeah,
yeah, you
in the
have to
end,
wear like some bib and all
yeah,
that. It was
in
like,
the end
yeah,
they just said, it's all right, we'll sort it out. We don't have to have a rerun, which everyone was thankful for.
yeah, and we're so close to medaling as well. Like,
Yeah,
despite
I think we came fifth, was
fifth
it?
something, yeah, and considering we only had like 2 weeks to like put it
Yeah,
through, and Sol and Jesse don't do as much training as we do, it was pretty incredible.
yeah,
I don't know about a reunion this year. Maybe
yeah.
Sol and Jesse have jumped off their running bit. I mean,
yeah, I think it would just have to be the solo races
Oh,
for us.
solo races, yeah. What do you reckon states for us this year? Big plans? Middling?
Hopefully,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Just gotta keep up the grind during cross country, build some strength, and that's the way to go. Now this one got you before, got you thinking. So any books or movies you recommend,
Oh,
Riley?
um, you gotta love the Marvel movies, I guess. Or
Sure.
yeah, when I was a kid, I always used to love reading Percy Jackson.
Oh, mate, it's classic. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Percy Jackson was my go-to as a kid. So yeah, definitely one of the Harry Potters of them.
And the movies, Harry Potter's as well.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I reckon the books are a bit of a,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, just special effects were a bit
Mm.
not as good. Yeah. And this one's quick hand, so a bit more fun. First one's pineapple and pizza, yes or no?
Yes, I think it's
Yes.
fine.
Love that, mate. Same here. English or math?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more of a maths person.
Math
Hate
person,
English.
yeah. Favorite celebrity?
Oh,
Be a
that's a
run.
hard one. Probably been watching a bit of Jakob Ingebrigtsen lately
Oh,
with the 15s. He's doing quite a bit. So yeah,
Riley trains a bit like him. Double sessions days, I've
only
heard.
after falls, mate.
Oh, only
Only.
up at falls. Yeah, yeah. It happens all the time. Just quickly on falls. What was that like? Like the altitude. Did you feel like you got a lot of
Yeah,
benefit?
I wasn't up there for the full 2 weeks. I went up for about 6 days, but I definitely felt it really helped, and I probably should have done more prep going into it because I felt the load of the training definitely I got a bit of niggles from it, but it really helped. And coming out of it, I felt a lot better, and after a rest after it, I felt a lot more fresh, and that probably helped me to run that sub to it in the eight. So yeah, it's definitely helpful for fitness and strength and just overall running.
100%, bro. I'll quickly squeeze through those. So, favorite place to visit in the world?
Oh, I really want to go to Greece.
Greece.
Yeah, it seems like a lovely place.
Yeah, just over like go for dollars or something. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Last one. What most used app on your phone?
Probably gonna have to say TikTok with a
Oh,
bit of
Riley, a bit
TikTok.
of TikTok, mate. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I don't personally use it, but I think if you got into it, it's hard to stop you. Yeah. So, this one gets people as well. What's the best piece of advice someone has ever given you, Riley?
Oh, um, I guess just the best piece of advice probably is that you have to prioritize what's important and what's going to help your future. So I think a lot of people always tell me to make sure you prioritize school because that's your future. That's what's going to help you and stuff. And I think that's really stuck with me through the years because even when I have a lot going on, I still have to make sure I prioritize my school.
100%. Like many of us, you're doing very well in your schooling, so good to hear. And lastly, I guess what's next for you in 2022 and beyond? Like, what do you see yourself as an athlete and as a student? Kind of top goals, maybe.
Probably the hope for me is just have a good winter season. Um, I'm a track runner, so I'll definitely be
Same here.
focusing for the eight next year. Maybe try and see how I feel and see if I want to do a bit more fours or do a bit more 15s, but definitely try and do a few more sub twos in the eight and be ready to smash out the next season, hopefully making nationals.
100%. We love the fours as well.
Yeah,
Gets you on your toes, doesn't it, mate?
yeah,
Yeah, that's the way to go. I guess yeah, pleasure chatting. We did this in between classes, so it was good
yeah,
to get a quick chat going. And I feel like this year's our year to like make a statement in the states.
yeah,
Like
for sure.
because
And
we
Mac
haven't run
is,
in 2 years or something. Yeah,
yeah, put Mac on the board, definitely.
yeah, that's a goal, and I hope to win a few medals with you this season. So
Yeah,
yeah,
hopefully, for
sounds
sure.
good. Best wishes, Riley.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Jess.